Hello, hello.
Hello. At least we found
Hi.
a place to go live.
We have found a place to go live. Which you've put out onto your Instagram, but I haven't put out onto mine, which is silly, but there we are. Anyway, we will upload this and then people can watch and get all the lovely nuggets of everything that we're going to talk about. Happy 2026 to you.
Happy 2026. Yeah, I'm
It's,
pleased it's arrived.
are you optimistic about your new year?
I am actually. I'm feeling gentle about 2026, which is thank goodness because it was an end to 2025.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just full on. Everyone keeps saying to me, how was Christmas? How was New Year? And I think the only word I can respond with authentically is intense. It was
Intense. In a
yeah.
good way or like I'm not doing that again?
In a bit of both. Because it was what I would have wanted, and I would like a round two to see if I could hold less tight.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
that's the problem, isn't it, with Christmas, is that you are trying to create so much and create so much magic, and um, it's all being shoved into this one day. And I think I worked out I wrapped over 150 presents. And and bought and organized and everything else. And you're just like, wowzers.
Yeah.
That is as well as, decorating the house, choosing all the food, making all the food, prepping it all ahead, making a wreath, all these things that you kind of just pile on and on and on and on and on. And just to kind of uphold this, this level of magic and tradition. And sometimes I'm like, why do I do it to myself?
I know, right? And I wasn't even thinking about that when I said intense.
I
I was just
mean,
thinking
you
about holding the
people,
emotional
the
space
people,
of the people.
the people that then come into that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's so full on.
it is
So
really
full on.
fun.
Which is why our houses then look the way they do.
Well, I mean, you've seen my house. It is actually, it's now turned from kind of chaos into like almost like an adventure course, because you cannot walk from one place to the next without like stepping over, going under. Like the animals are literally like, what is going on? Like jumping over stuff all over the place, being like, oh my gosh, this is like some kind of obstacle course.
Don't need to walk. Had it. Had the exercise I needed. But I can hear
Because
it in your
it's
voice,
so,
though. I can hear the like, it's gone up a level.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think actually maybe just before we start, we should just explain like who you are, like what you do, and how you kind of know so much about nervous systems and like why our bodies react in the way they are, and why my body is reacting in the way it is.
Yeah, it's so funny because the first thing that comes to mind to say to you is I'm human. Hi.
No.
Um, and a human that had a major, like, just moment of like, no, it can't be like this about 8 years ago. Just no, no, I can't do the work on this level and then do the mothering and the house and no, no. And I do not want my life to look like this or feel like this anymore. And I've always coached people on communication. So lots of pitch presentation, relationship building. And it was a little bit of a nice overlap of bringing in new techniques into my work for how do I help people feel more confident and um, not more big gravitas energy, but more like really solid magical energy that just gets people paying attention without you having to do all the jazz hands. Um, and nervous systems came up for me in my work, and I started exploring how different nervous systems. We've essentially got three major ones you could look at. But when they're active, they really have us communicating and thinking and doing in very different ways. And I was like, oh my gosh, if I can teach my clients this and it helps them to change not only like their outlook on life, but why can't I be doing this for myself? And so I started playing with my own tools really deeply. And um, the transformation it's offered in my life was so massive. I started chatting to a friend about it a lot. And she said, oh, come on now. This is ridiculous. This is fun. We're talking about something so exciting. Let's put it into a podcast. So we did. That was probably about 2.5 years ago, or probably going on 3. And then last year, we eventually said, no, we want it to be more than a podcast. So we've built The View Looks Good as a space where people can come and train and get coaching and take classes and use this amazing tool that every single person has automatic, immediate, free access to help you get a little bit of navigation through your life. That's yours. It's like this inbuilt navigation system that can help you. So, yeah.
And so I've done the course. We
Yes.
did it in September, and it was incredible. And I learned so much about like why I react the way I do, why I go into situations, to be monitoring how I'm reacting to things, monitoring myself when I have flipped into something, and then how I can bring myself out of it. And what I'd recommend anyone doing the course that you've led, because it was incredible. But I think actually interesting you saying, hi, I'm human, is super interesting because it is constant work. It's not something you do the course once and then you feel like, oh, I've solved all my problems. It's like day to day having to remind yourself how to get back out of yourself situations that you're in. And interestingly, I feel like I've got a little bit stuck because of where I am with the overwhelm, and I am like scrabbling around so much that I kind of can't feel the way of getting myself back out of it.
Yeah.
And I think maybe we should explain that there are kind of 3 different levels of your nervous system that we're generally working with. Do you
Yeah.
want to?
Yeah. Just before we dive into that, I just want to say like that this point about being human is so important. Maybe one day we'll develop a course where you can come and, that's it, your job done for the rest of your life. I mean, like, I think it would be a bit boring because there's so much to be discovered from a day-to-day basis of using this and working with it. But you're never supposed to do this alone. Like these courses are designed actually to be repeated. Like, I mean, Anne and I sit and we're doing this, we're reminding ourselves and we're working through it every single day. And that's why we have a community space. So I'm going to nudge you to come back to your community class
Yeah.
because that's what we need, right? But yes, so the nervous systems have evolved over time to protect us, and every single one of them plays a really vital part in protecting us. The first one that evolved was something called the dorsal nervous system. It's often referred to as your rest and relax state, but that's something that's a little bit unfair. But to say that it's, if you think of it as the system that shuts you down, slows you down, says time to wind down. We need to just take the energy out. It's what gives us that lovely balance. But when it's active, um, and it's regulated and it's doing its job in the sort of right way, it's helping you sleep beautifully. It's helping you digest beautifully. It's keeping you feeling calm and relaxed, and I can meet whatever comes along. But when it's not regulated, which mine hasn't been for the last few days, it's what makes you procrastinate and avoid picking up all the laundry on the floor and tidy things. I mean, I've been looking at my kitchen. My husband has been cleaning the kitchen for the last week, so I'm like, no, I don't want anything to do with it. And all my boxes full of Christmas decorations are sat over there.
Yeah,
They
so
haven't gone,
mine.
they haven't gone into the garage, being
Nope.
stuffed away, but and I'm just been staring at them because my system's like, I can do, actually, I'll just stare at you. It's fine. Um, and it also means we delay taking actions on things. Emails that I needed to send last week have not been sent yet because the system is just looking for any reason to not do things. And if you get stuck in that state for a while, it can feel like you're walking through treacle every single day. Like everything feels hard and it's exhausting, but your body's desperately trying to say, out, like, we need to shut this down. And we resist that shutdown a lot. So the body never gets it. So it tries to keep telling you that.
And can I just, on that moment, yesterday, so I have an old injury of tennis elbow, which I got during lockdown when I was doing, obviously, we were all doing way too much. And it literally flared up yesterday, and I now have no use of my left arm, which is and I'm left-handed. And I literally was like, I've got so much to carry. I've got to take things upstairs. I've got Christmas decorations to put away. I can't even carry the laundry. I mean, I was trying to butter toast this morning with my right hand. I was like, it was so difficult. And I was just like, oh my goodness, my body is literally telling me, you need to stop.
Like this, it feels coincidental, I think, when these things start happening, but I've just seen it too many times to avoid it being coincidence. It's just not. Like your body is now screaming, how
Yeah.
else am I going to get you to stop?
Yeah.
Um, so if we're talking about how do we help in the moment, like yesterday was my first day back. So my kids went back to school yesterday and I slept half the day.
Okay. So giving yourself permission to rest.
And I've had moments of rest while everyone has been in the house, and it has not been the same. Was asking for no chance to be disturbed.
Yeah.
Absolute switch off. And so I gave it to it. And this morning I woke up and I was like, okay, game on. Got a little bit more there now because my body has felt like, yes, you have paid attention. But it's very intentional rest. It is, I'm noticing, I'm sensing what is here, and I'm now going to give you what you're really craving. And for somebody, it might not be a nap. For someone, it might be, I'm listening in, and what my body needs is just to go and sit somewhere beautiful and be still and just do some people watching. Or I need to go and take that walk in nature. Or I need to go and put some headphones on and just switch off and lie down and listen to some music for a while. Like it's something that sounds so simple to listen in and just say, what do you need? But it's really not that easy because we push the override button so
All the
much
time.
all the time.
Yeah.
So like
And
if you had to just stop for a minute right now and really listen in.
yeah, I mean, my body's literally just screaming, just stop. As you said, go to sleep, have a day off, have a moment, and I suppose in a way, I'm very lucky that I do have the ability to do that. There'd be lots of people who, as you said, going back to work and all that kind of stuff and don't have the ability to stop and rest.
No, but maybe instead of coming home and doing what I've noticed my husband doing for the last few nights of coming back, opening the laptop, keep going, push through really, really late, and like he is on the floor, tired. Say, like, actually, you know what? I know there's a dozen things. I know the house needs a massive clean. I know I've got 100 things on my to-do list, but actually I'm getting into bed at 7:38. And like, I'm going to give it to myself when I can give it to
Give it to
myself.
myself. Yeah. And that's a very good point, actually, because I think I say to myself, gosh, you really need an early night. And then before I know it, it's 10:30 again. And I'm like, oh my goodness. But as you said, you've just got to shut everything else out, for me, put the kids to bed and just crawl into bed myself. And I know that I would just fall straight asleep, and that would, and actually earlier in this week when I think, when was it, on Saturday or Sunday, when I was feeling so overwhelmed, and I went out, took my dogs for a walk, and I had this whole moment of just being like, I think being around people all the time is really, it takes
Oh,
a lot out of me.
I've heard that from so many people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's just like constant conversation and like having to think of things to say and all that kind of stuff. And can you do a test on whether you're an introvert or an extrovert?
I'm absolutely, I'm sure the tests are out there. Anne will probably be able to point into one, but my theory is that introversy and extroversy, in fact, there's some research starting to come through, is linked to your nervous systems.
Yeah,
So what the nervous system we've been talking about of dorsal shutting you down, that's the introvert side. It's saying, oh, this is exhausting.
yeah.
Now I need to go and recharge. Like that is a lot to be present with that at the moment because that dorsal system is active and I have to really push hard to stretch into connecting with someone.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? I think all these things I can do in little bites, but it's the consistency for such a long time. And it felt like I didn't have my own time to reconnect to myself for such an extended amount of time, um, that I never had that moment to be able to then reconnect back into the calm and the, honestly said, just listening to my body, which is what you so beautifully taught us to do, was to stop and listen into our body, and see what it's saying. But when you're go 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 go, it's very difficult, isn't it, to then, and I find it difficult to remind myself to stop and listen to it. And the only way I kind of know that I'm not doing it is because I can see the reactions that I'm giving. Like with my kids, like I've got such a short fuse. I'm like jumping down the throats about stuff, and I'm like, oh, this is not me.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I find that that's almost like a kind of trigger. The dog's running up and down the stairs. That's almost like a trigger of like, oh, you're so far behind. You can't actually cope with anything that's going on in your life, and you're not able to focus or react the way that you want to react, or you know. So, Kim, what would you suggest that listening to our body, and then are there other tricks that we can do to like then kind of start this process of kind of
Yeah.
calming our nervous system back down again?
Yeah. Well, maybe it's worthwhile just mentioning the other extreme that our bodies might be going to, because whilst I can feel your body asking for some shutdown, I can also hear that there's some sympathetic energy going on. And that's the other nervous system, is the sympathetic nervous system, also known as your fight, flight, fawn space, which you might be familiar with. Um, and it's where the body's pumped energy in, but it's on like overdrive. So it's like the lovely analogy is like you're driving a sports car in first gear the whole time. And that's why I can hear in your voice as well. It's like I cannot keep going at this pace, like, you know, and that the reason why it's important just to stop and ask, which of the two does it feel like? Does it feel like my body has had energy pumping in and now and I need it to slow down? Or has it already slowed down and it's gone into this dorsal space and I need to wake it back up? Um, the two need slightly different things. So if you are in that, I'm just done with life, I'm already under the duvet, I can't face things, then it's like really turning in and facing in and going in and spending that time under the duvet really consciously and giving yourself that time to rest, to relax, to meditate, to be still, to not do anything. And we tend to get really scared that that means we are lazy, or it might feel like depression. It's something we start getting scared. It's like, oh my gosh, am I depressed? And if you're feeling that, you should go and like speak to someone and get it properly checked out. But I find that in the moments where I'm feeling really blue, it is just my body saying, you are not listening. And as soon as I give it that gentle rest or the relaxation, then it starts to feel like, okay, now I can breathe again. And the energy starts returning. If that's what's happening, that dorsal side, it is, I think for both of them, actually, the first step is to meet all of this with so much gentleness. And I can't say that more gently. Like, just so gently. Like if you were picking up an injured fawn, you know? like with just the utmost care and delicacy. And I notice how far away from that I often move into this, like, come on, pull yourself together, which is so abrupt and hard. And so the first like kind of question I think is like, how kind,
Can
how
we be to
gentle
ourselves?
are you being with yourself right now?
I mean, not at all. I mean, I'm literally just chastising. I mean, I'm self-flagellating myself. You're not being good enough at Bell,
Yeah.
and your
Wow.
house is a mess.
Yeah. So that is the first thing. Um, so yesterday it wasn't just a nap for me, it was putting myself in the house, in the space with the least visible amount of mess and the most comfort. So I'm not working from my office at the moment because A, it's a lot colder in there at the moment, but it doesn't feel comfortable and warm because it's also a mess. But so I'm like, I'm living on the sofa. That is where this system, I can meet it with the most gentleness and the most softness. And I've put on clothes and things that feel very soft and gentle, and I'm wearing them with the intention of meeting this system with some comfort. You know, it's making a warm cup of tea that I'm conscious of, like, this is an offering to you. Here is some,
I
you know.
love that. I love
So
that, and
it's
you're so true. And actually, sometimes if spaces aren't feeling, as I was saying before, like I actually feel like my house is like it's not my safe space anymore
mm,
because everything is feeling so overwhelming, and that's a horrid feeling, isn't it? And you're only going to kind of exacerbate that if you spend your time in that environment.
yeah. And it's just find the whatever it can be. Like, I living by the coast, I have a dry robe that is just so snuggly on the inside, and it's huge. And yesterday when I went out for a walk, it would have been a lot more practical to put on something a lot lighter. And but I was like, nope, I want the duvet coming with
Yeah,
me, you know,
fully in cocooned.
really cocooning it. Um, and permission to move slowly. So if you're going to put your makeup on or you're going to get something done, giving yourself permission to do it really slowly.
I mean, you know how much I love you, and I already feel like my body is like reacting so beautifully just listening to your words, and how much it's just calming me down already, just kind of being like, oh, I can give myself permission to do this. It's always like someone telling you it's okay to
But the
stop.
crazy thing is, we do need people to tell us okay
Mm.
because there's such a massive voice around us that says it's not.
Yeah, and especially in January, yeah? January,
Yes.
get up, go, start your fitness regime, stop eating. Like it just blows my mind because
Yeah.
also because my fridge is still full of 10 tons of cheese, so I'm not obviously going to go throw that out. And Christmas cake, and Christmas
Yes.
pudding, and
Yeah.
chocolates, and packets of crisps, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, I just think it's the wrong time to try and have this massive reset in my life. Plus, it's
Yeah.
cold, and as you said, like I want comfort and warmth,
Yeah.
hot stews, not like you know
Yeah.
two
And
lettuce.
listen, you might find yourself starting the new year and you're feeling really light and you're feeling really buoyant and you are, I know it hasn't officially started, but this being the Chinese Year of the Horse, which is supposed to bring us so much momentum and movement as well, which I'm loving the idea of, you might be feeling raring to go, in which case, I mean, go for it, right? Sign up for that 12-week fitness program or, you know, charge into that inbox. What, you know, go for it, feel it. Um, but if you're not, like, yeah, let's just meet it as gently as possible. Now, if you're on the other side of things and you are feeling more of that sympathetic energy, and it's when it feels a bit frenetic. So that would be me trying to get my kids to bed the other night, which was like, right, we've got 5 minutes. We need to brush our teeth. We need to have all the pajamas on, and then if you're not in bed by this point, I'm not doing any stories with you. And I heard, and actually that happened, and then it was my it was on Monday, our last day of holidays, took them out for a walk, and the littlest, it was a long walk, and the little one got about half the way home and was like, no,
I'm done.
I don't want to walk anymore. And he just hid himself in a bush in the middle of the forest. And I was like, the volume of things I need to get done. There is homework that needs to be finished. I need to like get all the uniform ready. Like, my to-do list was like hard and fast. And I just flashed him a look and I was like, you don't have a choice. We have to get home. There is no other way but to use our legs. And my eldest took one look and he just went, I got this, Mom. And he walked into the bush and he was like, come on, bud. You know you've got this. I'll hold your hand if you like. We can sing songs. And I mean, just like everything, right? And I stood there so aware of my sympathetic energy and I mean, so blown away by him. And before I knew it, the little one had come teetering out of the bush and had been coaxed out beautifully by his brother. And
Oh
I
my
just,
goodness.
it was amazing. But it's sometimes only in the contrast that you feel, wow, I'm really out there. Um, and which is why community on this is so important. Like, don't try and do this by yourself. I mean, you can do a good shot by yourself, but like, it's so much easier when you can meet with someone and just be like, oh, yeah, okay, it's up there.
So on that note, you at the View Look Good,
Mm.
you run three three times a week, is it, or 2 times a week? You run
Twice a week.
classes
Twice a
twice
week.
a week. You run classes that you can go to, and how much is it a month?
God, that's a really good question. I haven't looked at it for so long. £9 a month, £10 a month.
£10 a month, which
Yeah.
is nothing, and you get these 2 free classes every week, and then you're a part of the community, and you can go, and the classes literally just give you that, and they're over lunchtimes, aren't they? 12:30, I think,
To
12:30 to
a
1,
half-hour class
half
because
an
we
hour
don't
class.
want to stress people to find an hour somewhere.
Exactly. And you go and you reset, and literally you do everything. We just have a moment to stop, listen to our bodies, realize what we need to do to reset our nervous systems and kind of get back into a kind of level of calmness. And it's incredible. It's amazing. So if anyone is also feeling like this and feels like they need some help along the way, this is a really good way to start, is
Yeah.
to do the weekly or bi-weekly classes. I generally try to I commit to kind of doing one a week, and then if I can do another one, I do, which I haven't done for a while. So I'm really that is coming
Friday.
back. Friday, I'll be there. So that's a really good way of checking in with yourself and being made to check in with yourself, which is a lovely
It's
practice to do.
it is. You can also like, we're all messaging people and friends, and if you've got a really close friend, like prompt each other every now and again. Just be like, what's how are you feeling inside? Like, what is the body telling you? And you can ask just to check in on three things we look at really simply. Like, what are the sensations you can feel in your body? Tennis elbow. Uh, what are the emotions that are coming up? And what is the thoughts and the beliefs you've got turning over? Um, and just stop and noticing and notice with that gentleness. Like, okay, this is what's here. Having all the compassion is just in itself. Like you've just had that now. All you're doing is just, it's what's here. I'm giving it some space. Beautiful. You can do that. And then the classes offer a way to just really practice tuning in. I mean, it took me years to properly come back online with my body. I couldn't feel my legs when I first started looking at my body. I couldn't connect with them or feel them at all. So there's a journey in coming, a relationship to rebuild with the
Build.
body a lot of the time. And a lot of us don't feel comfortable with parts of our body, and it's not comfortable to tune in with my belly area right now because it's post Christmas, all of that. So you do it gently, but that's what's there. And yeah, and then if you're looking for more tips on, we talk about it as being play. So noticing which system is active is the first thing. And so when I was noticing this very sympathetic activated system, as we were walking, I was like, oh wow, okay, well, I need to release some of this energy now. And so we started as a bit of fun, like when we were walking back, I was like, I need to release some of this energy, which my other children have now clearly done very well. But when you blow raspberries, like, yeah, it's such a, I mean, you see it in horses all the time, don't you? They're
Yeah.
so good at doing it. It's a regulation tool. Um, that's what we did all, like for a part of the journey back. Shake it off, letting the body shake, shake, shake. So there's a bit of silly dancing happening, which was helpful because when the little one was dancing behind a silly mummy, it was less traumatic to walk. But I was using it to like discharge the energy that had built up. I mean, there are hundreds and hundreds of ways in which you can wake up the dorsal system gently and burn off the energy of the sympathetic. All you have to do is open Instagram actually and see 1,000 different suggestions for all these things all
Yeah.
the time.
I was doing the hugging
Yeah.
and stroking myself. I'm like, just
Yes. Oh, it's such a sign your dorsal's there. Like it just needs, yes, that's it.
just need that.
And it's beginning to become playful with what does this body right now need in this moment? And you learn what the body really responds to well. I've played with things over the years that I haven't really stuck with because it didn't really do anything for me. Some of the stuff I'm going to play with later this week is going back to doing tapping because tapping works really
Okay.
well for my body. I can really recommend the tapping app. It's brilliant,
Mm.
and shows you how to do it and gives you different things to talk through for different scenarios. Um,
What
um,
do you find that tapping does? Because I have done ages ago. I did some tapping, hand tapping,
yeah,
but what was it? What would you say? Is it that to like calm me down? Is that to? I think I did it to let go and install new beliefs in it. I think I had a something I was really caught up on and I couldn't let go. So then I had a teacher who was teaching me to do that.
yeah.
What do you use it for?
So it's creating new neural pathways on topics. Something that's popped up over the course of the Christmas period was this my feeling of feeling small got bigger. And I was
Okay.
like, that's really interesting. What is this feeling of small? And obviously that the nervous system really likes to play a part in these like ideas. So I've been tending to nervous system with that and doing meditation with it. But tapping's a really great way of basically saying, okay, I acknowledge the belief that is here around like say feeling small. And you start and that I really can't recommend tapping app enough. It's so good. Like you basically start tapping on the hand
Yeah.
with the old belief and then you move into different parts, tapping in the new beliefs. And it's to do with the acupressure points. And yeah, it works really well. And I do it with my kids a lot as well. It's a really nice
Hmm.
process to do.
Okay, the tapping app. I'm going to write that down to remind myself to have a look at that. Um, well, amazing, Kim. I think we've probably done as much as we probably can on this session, but that was incredible. So thank you so much because I really just feel like I now can go listen to my body, give myself a moment of rest, which I know I'm desperately calling out for. I'm literally like cradling my arm like this.
Yeah,
I mean, when you were like, oh, I feel I was in tears last night to my husband about it. I was like, it's so painful. And just kind of acknowledge that I need to stop and rest and have a moment to kind of recoup. And then I will tackle
yeah.
the rest of the house. Amazing. Thanks, my
Nice
darling.
time with you.
You too.
All right. Bye.